to heat up my mash tun, making a IPA today. It's a clone recipe for Stone's Enjoy By IPA. I got the recipe from Scott over at Bertus Brewery, so if you wanted to have the recipe, just go check that out. And he's got a bunch of great clone recipes on his website. But anyway, I just wanted to show you the manifold on my mash tun. Never showed you guys this before, but it's kind of just an even spacing design just to fit the cooler, obviously. It's soldered on just the two end parts so that you can take it apart and clean after each brew. Yeah, that's all there is to that. And the grains on this 2-row, Canadian 2-row, and Maris Otter, so English 2-row. And there's 2 ounces of Pacifica on the mash hops that are going to be going in there. And other than that, we'll just keep this one updated as we go. Alright guys. Hopefully you guys can see something. Definitely a light green bill and a light mash compared to my last few batches. Wow, that was drop dead easy. Pick you guys up and bring you over. So we're shooting for a pretty low mash temp on this, so we get a nice dry IPA. And as the mash is done, 75-minute mash, and now I'm just going to start doing my first runnings until we get a nice clear wort running through, and then we'll start sparging it. So this is basically what I do. I go from this cup to this one, really nice and slow. Don't want to get a stuck sparge. I do have that extra 2 ounces Pacifica hops in there, so I'm just going to go real slow on this. But once it's running clear, maybe I'll give you a close-up of that. But right now you can see got quite a bit of grain husk and just cloudy looking first runnings, and then once it's clear we'll be back and show you that. So starting to look really clean, nice and clear. Probably start to fill the brew kettle after, we'll do 1 or 2 more. But, slow sparge, slow kettle fill, and yeah, probably quite a ways to go. I'm just making some lunch while I do this. Keep you guys posted. Alright, cheers. Throwing my hot strainer, or whatever you want to call this thing. I call it the claw. They sell stuff like this, but if you're creative enough, you can just hack your own, save some cash. But anyway, you can kind of see, well, maybe not, about the depth of the pot, kind of, you know, stick that in. Okay, 15 minutes left in the boil. Time for a big hop addition. Got an ounce of Simcoe in there, an ounce of Mosaic, ounce of Amarillo, ½ ounce Cascade, and ½ ounce of Centennial. I'm gonna just throw it in the bag. And the last flame out addition is going to be an ounce of Citra, ounce of Cascade, and an ounce of Centennial. Alright, about to do the first dry hop addition on the Enjoy By IPA, guys. Have 1.5 ounces of Nelson Sauvin, ounce of Galaxy. The recipe called for 1.5 ounces, but I don't have enough because this is just half the dry hop at this point. But anyway, 1 ounce of Galaxy, 1/4 ounce of Cascade, or Cascade Citra, and 1/4 ounce of Mosaic. Total of 3 ounces there. Just in my bag, dental floss tied around there, the non-flavored of course, and all sanitized up. I'm just gonna stick it right in my primary fermenter here. Alright, about to transfer the Enjoy by IPA here in our primary fermenter. Get this on the transfer. That's it. I'm about to do the second dry hop on my Enjoy by IPA, so I'm up to boil, well, a light boil anyway, this hop bag. Got a nice big one, brand new one. So many of those downstairs, but they're all looking questionable at this point. And my stainless steel bolt, get that in there. Just to sanitize everything up. Just pulled the keg out of the fridge. It's been in there for a little over a week, just clarifying and that. Get these hops out. Vacuum sealed in there. Show you guys my hop stash in here. It's 4 ounces Chinook, pound of Cascade, pound of Mosaic, Citra, Centennial pound, Simcoe. What else do we got? Amarillo, ooh, Citra. Nothing like a fat pound of Citra. Looks like something else, but it's all hops. Anyway, I just wanted to give another shout out to Farmhouse Brewing Supplies. That's where I bought all of those big pound bags. I bought like 8 pounds of hops, and in the end, it's gonna really save. I mean, running to the one homebrew shop in Calgary that carries the hops I want. They don't vacuum seal them either. I'm not gonna show their name. They use like these Ziploc bags after he breaks down a pound. So right away you're losing on that precious hop aroma when they're stored like that. So I mean, you want to vacuum seal that shit and put it in your freezer. So I just splurged, bought a few pounds. I can vacuum seal and store them myself and just know the quality and the freshness. Plus I don't got to run around, and in the end too, you save a ton of money. For example, Amarillo, what you pay here for 2 ounces, it works out to like almost 70 bucks if you bought a pound separately like that, whereas I got a pound for 22 bucks. So it is just cost effective. You just got to make the plunge, you just got to do it. But anyway, I'm gonna put in the Nelson Galaxy combo, 1.5 ounce Nelson, ounce of Galaxy, and then I'm gonna do the little bit of Mosaic and Citra as well. I'm probably gonna let this dry hop for over a week. Just because it's super cold for the first 2 days, it's gonna just be warming up anyway. But from here, pretty much, I don't know, maybe I'll find it one more time with gelatin to have it nice and clear, and then we'll be serving up a glass. All right guys, cheers. Guys, so we have the Enjoy by Clone poured out here. This video is quite the process in the making. I don't have the original brew day anymore, but it's probably been a couple months ago, at least a couple months. Here we go. Have a look. I'd say it's clear. Probably not. Well, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty much perfectly clear. I did find it with gelatin after the last bout of dry hop. Just kind of a steady carbonation, pretty mild flowing. Lighter color than the actual stone. I never actually, here's something guys, I didn't take into account. This is a 2 malt beer. It's pale malt, 2-row, and English 2-row, like Maris Otter. So I wanted to brew it at 7%, not 9.2 I think, is stones. So I just knocked down those malts, not taking into account how that's going to give me this lighter colored beer for one, and then just the malt balance is not going to be there because I pretty much kept the same amount of hops. So some for next time, maybe a little honey malt or crystal malt to balance substituting. You know, you're losing pounds. I don't know, wasn't thinking, so that's one issue with it. The original gravity was 1062, final gravity 1008, finished nice and dry, 7% alcohol, which is just what I was hoping for. But my final gravity was off, and my original gravity, but I still hit my ABV, so just a little drier than I wanted, a little bit lower. Not much more to say there. Yeah, kind of that pillowy white head. 6 round for quite a while, but let's get to the aroma. It does smell really nice. I've really been holding off on drinking this. I wanted to get this review, and I really think there's like that much left in the keg. I've just kind of been like, don't drink that without filming this. You're gonna ruin the whole thing. But yeah, Nelson hops really stand out. It's kind of pear, grape. There's a dankness though, I think maybe from the Galaxy, but another component of this tropical fruit. Yeah, just super fruity, one-dimensional. It's extremely hoppy. It's not, I don't get any malts in there, but it smells really, really good actually. It smells damn good. I haven't had this in a while. Just kind of, yeah, that smells awesome. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, a little, that's the problem. The mouthfeel, Paul, it's thin. Definitely a little thin, almost a little, I don't want to say watery, but it is a little bit. Just in the fact that it's so light, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's 7% alcohol. Up front, that big hot presence kind of fades off into kind of a decent bitterness, and then the dryness really kicks up. But I was surprised for the 10.8 final gravity. It's not as dry as I would expect. Kind of cranking the Stevie Ray Vaughan, guys, just chilling. Hopefully that's not offending anybody. I would hope not. Yeah, a little bit of that dankness in there. Final product's pretty good. I would highly recommend the recipe, but maybe just brew it right to the 9%. Probably gonna get a better result. Or if you make a little bit of a malt substitute to equal out what I didn't, might help too. But overall, this extremely hoppy beer, extremely hoppy. Still getting that bitterness kind of lingering around, dry. It's a gooder. Yeah, I think if you brew this up, you're gonna enjoy it. Your keg might last a little longer than mine. Your mileage may vary there. I don't know. I don't think it lasted me too long, especially just me mostly drinking it. Eee. Yeah, not much more to say, guys, really. I just appreciate you checking out the video. I do give this recipe a big thumbs up and say go for it. If you want the exact one, like I mentioned, British Brewery, but I'll post a link right to this if anyone wants it. So, I can't think of the next video to come. Maybe I had the smoked porter I brewed. It's very limited brewing footage, but I think I'm going to still throw it up on my channel. I figure what the hell. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and appreciate you checking it out. Until the next one, cheers everybody.